Looking back on that, I really feel the stress of it.
At the beginning, it's very, very hard. It's 10, okay? You start off because you're in the habit of doing this, whatever it is. And, compulsive behavior, it's like if you limit or alcohol, it's a sort of certain segment of society.
Jennifer Garner spent 10 years protecting a man the world had already convicted. While the public dissected her divorce from Ben Affleck, she refused to tell the story everyone wanted to hear. There were explosive interviews, public accusations, or attempts to settle scores. Then, after years of silence, Jennifer Garner finally revealed what she had been quietly carrying all along. And it wasn't what anyone expected. So why did she spend a decade holding back the truth? And what did she finally say that changes how we understand one of Hollywood's most famous divorces? Join us as we uncover what Jennifer Garner finally revealed after years of silence. The interview that started everything. It all started with a wellness interview. The January 2026 Marie Claire UK wellness issue had put Jennifer Garner on the cover for the first time in nearly 3 years, and the issue's theme was mental health, resilience, and personal growth, which turned out to be the exact conversation she was ready to have. Jennifer jumped right into it. She told the magazine directly that the actual breaking up of a family is what was hard. It wasn't the tabloid headlines, nor the photographs of her husband that told a story she had been living inside before any camera caught it. The hard thing was the family. The specific, daily, irreplaceable structure of a family. 3 children, 1 home, 2 parents present, being dismantled into something different. She also revealed something that does not make the headlines as often as it should. She told the magazine she had deliberately shut out everything the outside world was saying about her and her marriage. She described it as not serving her to take in gossip about herself, her ex-husband, or her children, and she could not handle what was out there. She chose to be smart about what she could and couldn't manage. While the internet was dissecting her marriage in real time, Jennifer Garner was deliberately not reading any of it because she had 3 children to get up and take care of every morning, and reading what strangers were saying about her husband's behavior was not going to help her do that. What hurt her the most was losing a true partnership in the divorce. Jennifer was not talking about the romantic relationship or the celebrity coupling that generated magazine covers and paparazzi photographs for 10 years. She was talking about the specific functional partnership of 2 people raising a family together, making daily decisions together, being the person the other person comes home to. That partnership was what she lost. And it was, by her account, the hardest thing to lose. What she was not talking about, and what she very deliberately continues to not talk about, is why. Let's unveil why she has refused to talk about that. What everyone already knew the man she married. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner met on the set of Pearl Harbor in 2001. They were friends first before they started dating publicly in 2004 and got married on June 29, 2005, in a private ceremony in the Turks and Caicos. Their daughter Violet was born in December 2005. Serafina followed in January 2009, and Samuel was born in February 2012. For 10 years, the public version of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner was a love story that Hollywood needed. 2 serious, talented people who had made it work inside an industry that chews relationships apart. She was the supportive wife at the Batman vs. Superman premiere. He was the grateful husband at her press junkets. Their children were photographed growing up on school runs and soccer fields, and the whole picture looked stable. Behind the picture was a man who has since been comprehensively honest about what he was actually going through. In his March 2025 GQ cover interview, Ben described his own behavior during those years with a clarity that makes it impossible to pretend otherwise. He said he was grateful to have a really good co-parent and partner in Jennifer Garner, that she was wonderful and great, and that they worked together well. He said it like a man who understood exactly what he had put her through and was not going to pretend that the version of himself she had to deal with was someone she had been lucky to love. His alcoholism has been documented by himself, in his own words, across multiple interviews and in his 2020 Good Morning America appearance, where he admitted he did not want to be a divorced person, that he really didn't want to be a split family with his children, that it upset him because it meant he wasn't who he thought he was, and that was painful and disappointing. Jennifer Garner married a specific Ben Affleck and ended up with a version of him she had not signed up for, through no fault of her own and through no fault of his that predated the disease he was managing. She has never said any of this publicly. She has not needed to. He has said it for her, in his own words, across years of his own honesty about his own failures. Her silence on the specific causes of the divorce has always been protected by his willingness to account for himself. But aside from the alcohol issues, there was the rumor of infidelity that was playing out right under her nose and in her home. Let's talk about that. The nanny. There is one aspect of the divorce that Jennifer Garner has never addressed publicly, and that the interviewer at Marie Claire UK apparently did not press her on. The nanny. In 2015, the month before Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner publicly announced their separation, photographs appeared of Ben with the family's nanny, Christine Uzunian. The tabloid coverage was immediate and comprehensive. Christine gave interviews, and Ben Affleck's team denied an affair. However, the photographs told a story that words were not going to successfully contradict. Jennifer has never confirmed or commented on the nanny situation in any interview. And what she is protecting is not Ben Affleck's reputation. His reputation has been managed by himself, with varying degrees of success, across the years since the divorce. What she is protecting is her children. Violet, Serafina, and Samuel did not choose to have parents who were public figures. They did not choose to have a father whose alcoholism and personal behavior generated international news coverage. And they certainly did not choose to have a mother who could have, if she had wanted to, given a definitive, documented, emotionally devastating account of what the end of the marriage actually looked like from where she was standing. She chose not to give that account. For 10 years, she has not given it. The children have grown up without hearing their mother publicly characterize their father. That is the truth about Jennifer Garner that the Marie Claire UK interview finally made explicit. She has been protecting her children with her silence, at personal cost, for a decade. That is the truth she finally revealed. Not the details of what happened. The decision she made about how to handle what happened. Not giving a comprehensive detail of what had unraveled their decade-old marriage was one thing, but the personal decision she made after her divorce was one thing fans didn't understand. And now she's explaining why. So, what did she do? And why did she do it? The career she put on hold. Jennifer Garner was one of the most bankable actresses in Hollywood in the mid-2000s. Alias ran from 2001 to 2006 and made her a genuine star. 13 Going on 30 became a beloved romantic comedy. Elektra was a mess, but she was not the mess in it. She had the career trajectory of someone who was going to be doing this for 40 more years. And then she had children, and a husband whose career was the one that got prioritized, and a marriage that eventually required more of her than any film set possibly could. And she stepped back from the work in ways that she has only recently started talking about honestly. In her InStyle interview in 2026, she said directly that the upheaval of her divorce had kept her from working for years. Not that she chose not to work, or that she deprioritized her career for her children. She was clear that the upheaval of the family breaking apart was significant enough that her ability to focus on acting was genuinely compromised. The divorce did not just take her marriage. It took years of her career during a period when she was in her late 30s and early 40s, the window when female actresses tend to do some of their most interesting work. She has been publicly gracious about this. She has not framed it as something done to her or as a sacrifice she resents. She has described it as a choice she made in response to circumstances, and she has described it with the matter-of-fact tone of someone who has made peace with the math of what she gave up and what she got in return. What she got in return was 3 children who are by every available account doing well. Violet is 20, Serafina is 16, Samuel is 13, and all 3 have been photographed with both parents at various public events in ways that suggest a co-parenting relationship that is genuinely functional rather than performatively civil. The Thanksgiving 2024 photographs of the whole family, Jennifer, Ben, and the 3 kids feeding people in need in Los Angeles, were the clearest public demonstration of what she had built from the wreckage of the marriage. An intact family, organized differently than it had been, but present and functioning and doing something good together. The most important thing Jennifer Garner said in her 2026 Marie Claire UK interview was not about Ben Affleck, or the divorce, or the upheaval, or the partnership she lost. It was about what comes after all of those things. She said she thought it was important for women to know that when they think they will never see the friendship again, will never have that feeling again, will never be friends with the person again, time is the opportunity. Time is the opportunity to heal, forgive, move on, and find a new way to be friends. She said this not as a platitude, but as a specific description of her own experience. She and Ben Affleck are friends now. Not in the performed way of 2 famous people who have been photographed together and therefore must claim to be on good terms. Actually friends, the kind of friends who sit next to each other at their kids' school events, who co-parent with enough genuine goodwill that the children have grown up knowing both of their parents love them and love each other enough to stay civil, and who, in Ben's own words, work together well. In July 2025, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck took their children to a Boston Red Sox game together, looking, by all photographic accounts, like people who were happy to be in the same place for the same reason. That is the 10-year project Jennifer Garner was running while the internet was speculating about her feelings and her pain and whether she would ever be okay. She was building something, not the marriage she lost, but the family structure that would survive it. The end of her marriage and the disappointment has not stopped her from falling in love with someone else, although it's a chapter that she has deliberately not talked about. Let's talk about her new relationship. The truth about her love life. While all of the public Ben Affleck chapters have been unfolding, Jennifer Garner has been in a relationship with businessman John Miller since approximately 2018. 7 years. The relationship is as long as many marriages. She has given no interviews about it. She has made no Instagram posts about him. He has not been her date on any red carpet that generated significant coverage. He is a businessman and the CEO of Cali Group, a technology company. He is private by choice. She is private by necessity. Together, they are apparently making it work in a way that requires no public validation whatsoever. The contrast between how she has managed her relationship with John Miller versus how she managed the public persona of her marriage to Ben is instructive. The Ben marriage was a product of 2 people whose combined fame made privacy genuinely impossible. The cameras found them at every turn. The magazines built their relationship into a narrative, and the public felt a specific ownership of the story that neither of them had invited. The John Miller relationship exists outside that ecosystem entirely, by her conscious decision, and has survived 7 years in that state. This is what Jennifer Garner learned from Ben Affleck. Not the obvious lesson. Don't marry an alcoholic. Don't trust the person who is hurting you. But the specific lesson about what fame does to a relationship when both people are inside it. The Miller relationship being invisible is not an accident. It is a deliberate choice made by a woman who experienced firsthand what happens when a marriage becomes a product. Jennifer wasn't the only person that found love after her divorce. Ben did, but it unfortunately wasn't a happy ever after. Let's unveil what happened. A second divorce. In August 2024, Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Ben Affleck after 2 years of marriage. The Bennifer 2.0 reunion, which had been one of the most celebrated celebrity love stories of the early 2020s, was over. The divorce was finalized in January 2025. The internet waited for Jennifer Garner to say something, anything, a comment, a social media post, a source close to Jennifer telling a tabloid how she really felt about the woman who had been briefly positioned as her replacement and the marriage that had followed. She said nothing. She did not post, nor did she leave a comment. She gave no interviews specifically addressing their divorce. She put a Father's Day tribute to Ben Affleck on her Instagram stories in June 2025. The same month the divorce was being finalized, and that was the only public statement she made about anything related to him during that period. The Father's Day post was itself the clearest possible statement. Whatever had happened between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, whatever had played out publicly, whatever had been written and photographed and speculated about, Jennifer Garner's position remained unchanged. He was the father of her children. She was going to honor that publicly on the appropriate day with the appropriate warmth, and she was going to let everything else sit in the silence where it had always been. Now that it seems she has found peace in her present, is she still taking a break from her acting career? And what is she doing now? What she is actually building now. Jennifer Garner is 54 years old, in the best physical shape of her life, and actively working in ways that she had stepped back from during the divorce years. She has her production company. She has her work with Once Upon a Farm, the children's food brand she co-founded and has been central to building. She has her acting career, which has moved into different territory than the action heroines of her Alias era, more character-driven, mature, and interesting. She has 3 children who are growing up. Violet is at college age. Serafina and Samuel are teenagers. The years of full-time, intensive single mothering that the divorce required are shifting into something that gives her more of her own space. She told Marie Claire UK that she was looking forward to her projects in 2026, saying it with the energy of someone who has been waiting for this particular chapter and is not nervous about it. She has done the hardest thing she has ever done, which was keep a family functional through a very public, very painful divorce, while simultaneously protecting her children from the worst of what could have been said. She has done it for 10 years. She is ready for what comes next. What she finally revealed in January 2026 was not the dirt of the timeline of betrayal or the specific grievances that the internet had been waiting to have confirmed. What she revealed was the framework she built to survive it, and cut out the noise to protect the children, give time the room to do its work, and find, on the other side of it, a new way to be friends with the person who hurt you, because the people you made together deserve to grow up knowing that is possible. That is the truth about her divorce, and it is considerably more useful to anyone going through something similar than any account of what Ben Affleck actually did would have been. Does her decision to remain private regarding the entire thing make her extraordinary? Or does it make her the latest in a very long line of women who were asked to absorb the consequences of someone else's choices, so that everyone around them could keep moving forward? And now that she has finally started talking, carefully, precisely, on her own terms, is the truth she is telling the one the world deserved to hear all along? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.